Hello, my name is Daniel Galmiche, and this is the Great British Chef Signature Series. Some people eat beef every day. I mean, it's just like, what the hell's going on? I think that you better eat a proper meat, which you pay a little bit more for it, but you know it gives you a lot of goodness. The lamb is a Cornish lamb, which is really good. But the best I've tried when I lived in Scotland is Orkney Island lamb. Possibly one of the best I've ever tried. Most people would know licorice as a sweet, but the root itself, which is really natural, but in the same time is subtle, gives this lamb quite a fragrance. You say, well, what the hell is that? I'm not too sure. My name is Daniel Galmiche, and the recipe I'm going to do, which is interesting in a way because of the ingredient I'm using. It's a lamb rump, which is going to be roasted and skewed with licorice. I love licorice flavor. I love this kind of bitter, sweet, earthy root. And the root, actually, when you go and dig them, they're very deep. It's quite difficult to get the root. And in France and Spain, we suck the root like that. We eat it. And when you go to school, obviously, quickly in a bag, because the teacher will say, hey, what are you doing? And after that, you go back home and you pick up your licorice and you walk around. So your tongue is absolutely caramel colors, purple. And you can see the color of this water, which is taking all the color from the skin. So the best to peel it, it's always to come from the middle. So the reason you soak it is to soften a little bit the outside. So you come from the middle because you need to hold it quite firm, as you can see. And it gives you this lovely peeling, but the smell, the flavor, the fragrance is coming out. You would think it's wood, isn't it beautiful? Simple thing is like that. And that's why I love people who work the wood, the glass, all these artisan things, smelling and tasting and checking everything. I think for me it's part of the learning process. So that's beautiful. Look at that. So we need to cut it. It's really, really difficult to cut. You come like that. As you cut it, all the fragrance is released as well. And so we're cutting in half again in here, or nearly half, yeah? And that will be put inside the fillet. And it's going to be really, really interesting and charming. Okay, so licorice in here and my rump. So that's what a rump looks like. If you do that at home, you would keep it at the whole, for example. If you do that in restaurant, you just break it down a little bit. I'm going to keep only this part there. The rest I will eat it, obviously. I'm not going to throw that in a bin. So it's mostly the skin I'm taking and keep the fat. The fat, when it's good fat, the fat is good. People always have a problem with fat, but they are quite right in a way because there is good fat and there is bad fat. The good fat for me comes where the animal is reared properly and fed properly and looked after properly, and it gives a flavor. Don't forget when you roast and you got this beautiful caramelized thing, it gives such a great flavor. The skin is not very interesting in a sense, and when you get to cook it, it's going to make the whole thing shrink. It's really kind of elastic, you know? And when you cook it, it's going to retract, obviously, and it's going to bring the thing together. So I'm going to score that a little bit there. It's helped during the cooking process. Put some licorice in. We just do a small incision there. Okay, come back in here if possible. And we're going to, that's why we're cutting the licorice. We're going to put the licorice inside there. Voila, okay? So that goes in. Now, I'm going to put some of it like this on the top. What I like about the licorice there, obviously, as a flavor, it will be earthy because it's a root, and it will be kind of bittersweet in a sense, a little bit, you know, and give this quite a fragrance where you say, well, what the hell is that? I'm not too sure. Okay, so I just wrap it a little bit there to keep a little bit the shape, like that. And that's what we've done, and put it overnight. So this one was in the fridge overnight, and you can see it kept a beautiful shape there, ready to really pan roast and be beautiful. So drop of olive oil, nut of butter. I like roasting in casserole. You get more flavor going together, and also because it's cast iron, the heat distribution is different than that. Sometimes that, depending on what you put it on, you got more centered heat. So that's what I like. So the butter is forming, started to form like that, you know, but it's not burning, and that's perfect. Now we're going to season a little bit the lamb, like this, very simple. Touch of black pepper, and that's it. And now you're going to put that on the fat first. As you can see, we've seasoned the piece of lamb at the last minute. If I had put salt in it, in a cling film, it would be very bloody because the salt tends to draw the blood, which means your piece of meat is drying when you will cook it because there is no more moisture in it. Seasoning last minute is much better for this kind of thing. So I'm going to turn it a little bit in both sides and roast everything nicely, give this lovely golden brown color on the fat of the lamb. I want things to roast slowly and caramelize a little bit. It's always good if the meat is room temperature. There is no shocking contrast between the very cold and the very hot in your pan. Therefore the muscle will not stress and be super hard. Good, look, this beautiful color there. And so it's just right, perfect. Okay, so now that's ready to go in the oven for about 8 minutes. Voila. So, okay, we're resting the muscle there, the meat itself. Also, I kept the fat in a pan because I want to do the traditional jus. I've deglassed a little bit, putting some lamb jus in it. Okay, I'm going to do some wilted spinach, barely cooked, just to accompany the lamb because it goes well with it. And we're going to drizzle with the jus, and that's as simple as it goes. So, okay, this is the lamb rested as well, and it will be slightly pink. So, wilted spinach. You can see they are barely cooked. Spinach, as you know, can be served as a salad raw as well, so why not? Cut in half, one thing. That's all I need, like that. And now we're going to put this lovely jus there. Beautiful shine. Et voilà. So here we are, lamb rump with fresh licorice root, wilted spinach, and a light jus of lamb. Simple.